was curious about the process of putting Tamon on scholarship, and and how happy you are for that moment.
Well, I told y'all we're going to flip over every rock to see if we could find someone who could come in and add value to the program either immediately or in the future, and just nobody popped up. And then actually some of the players said something to somebody, one of the assistants, about, hey, with having Quan scholarship, would we consider doing that? And that's something that I would normally do anyhow. It was just really cool that some of the guys, brought it up. And
so that whole process, we saw the video of him getting the scholarship. I assume you were in the room at that time?
Yeah, I was there.
What was your reaction to that, just seeing him be so excited about that?
No, it's always very cool when, I've been a part of several of them where we put a walk-on scholarship, and it's always very cool. I really like how unique Marco and Reem and those guys came up with different way, to surprise him. And we thought about doing it on the trip to Houston, but he got sick and couldn't travel. And because his family was going to be there and stuff. And so since he was sick, couldn't travel, we had to wait on that.
What can you say about him as a person and as a player?
Well, he's a very mature person, and he sees the big picture. He really embraces his role as a walk-on, understands that he's here to, bring it every day at practice, but really be another voice, another coach's voice in the locker room, very much like Nate was last year. And just blessed to have someone with, and he can hoop, right? So the guys respect him, and like they did Nate last year. And so it's just a blessing to have somebody that mature, who understands their role and can speak, very positive things to the team when we're not around.
One more on him. I know he was close by, but how did you two, hook up and get him on the roster?
Actually, I picked the walk-ons last year, and guys on staff, I can't say that. Okay, so I picked the walk-ons last year, and so this year I decided to delegate the walk-ons to A-Dub and Coach Marco. And so they're really the one. I think Nate may have brought him up to A-Dub and Marco, and they kind of went through the interview process, all that stuff, see if he'd fit what we're about. So, and and Coach Jordan's been unbelievable over there, and but I didn't have anything to do with that. I just
looking forward, do you see yourself sticking with the same starting five you've used the last two games?
Yeah, unless there's some reason to change, we've gotten off to good starts, both of them, and I think both Will and David have embraced, they're very mature about understanding they're going to play a lot of minutes, and so yeah, we'll roll with it unless something else pops up and we need to change.
What would you say would be Jarrell's next step to, you say he needs to be just a little bit more, I don't know, able to handle the game? What does he need to do next? Are we talking about endurance or something else to keep him on the floor just a little bit longer?
Endurance is going to be one. Focus, the ability to focus through, fatigue. I think it's Vince Lombardi that said fatigue will make cowards of us all, and so fatigue affects different guys different ways, and so there's that. I think just playing, the more he plays, the more comfortable he's going to be, and but you can tell when he gets tired, he makes mistakes that he doesn't make when he isn't tired, and because he hasn't learned how to compete while he's tired yet. But he's doing a great job, and his ability to catch a ball on a roll and then find the next person. I think he was 3-0 assists turnover last game, and that went a long way. And because he does have vision and he's got skill, and so conditioning and time is going to allow that.
Feels like Day-Day's kind of turned a little bit of a corner in the past few weeks. What has been the key for him moving forward, and how he's kind of improved?
I think when he was sick and had to miss some games and missed some practice time. It kind of set him back, and they probably just got caught up in thinking too much about making shots rather than just playing. And it's just one of those things freshmen go through, and so the team has done a really good job of encouraging him and letting him know, like just be yourself and play with confidence. They believe in him, and so everybody's kind of figuring out our roles a little bit better.
To that point, you kind of spoken about confidence a lot, and guys can get down for certain things, even when things don't go well. Is your job almost at times more of a mental health coach and instilling confidence in these guys and reminding them how good they are?
Yeah, Fran Fischella says that we're really crisis management people, and it happens with events that take place off the court. It happens with events that take place on the court. It happens with things that take place between their ears. And so, yeah, we're constantly, just trying to make sure they stay. Because as adults, we understand, man, there's going to be ups and downs. We can't be up and down, though, we stay steady, and to teach them how to remain steady through all of it.
I know you guys treat every game like it's its own season, but just how have you seen your team, the players, respond after the emotional high on Monday?
No, I thought we had a really good response today. Like, they've had the last couple of days off. Yesterday, though, they did some lifting and some shooting, and I had a couple of guys shoot me some text messages and some film to me. Some different things that, when they're invested and they're engaged and they're, like. It's the things that players who are like really bought in do, and I'm one of those guys. I want to hear what they're thinking, what they see. Maybe they see something in another game that, we might want to look at, and I've been getting some communication like that from some of them, so I know that they're moving forward.
And just thoughts on BYU, the challenges they can maybe present.
Wow, man, can they shoot that basketball? And Traore is a problem. I think that's how you say a big fella's name. Man, like, I watched him, like, it didn't matter. Like, the Edwards kid at West Virginia, he was just shooting right-handed and left-handed jump hooks over him. He's got that great base where he can get an angle and finish, and he's a good passer. And then he's got all these shooters around him, and they're really, really tough. I mean, they're very physical. And it's looking at it on TV, you may not think so, but, I mean, they're grown men. Right, most of them have wives, right, and I mean, like they just approach the game a little bit different, like an adult, all of them, and they're very physical. They hit you on every cut, every bump, just very, very physical, and so we're gonna have to be ready for that.
Do you take a different approach or consider the altitude at all with this game beforehand?
Yeah, no, altitude's not going to matter. We're going to be there for less than 24 hours. It doesn't affect us within 24 hours, so we'll be fine.
Dorian didn't get to play at all last week. He was actually on a pretty good little run before that. Do you see him being more of a part of the game plan moving forward?
Well, we never eliminate anybody from the game plan. It's just as the flow of the game goes, are they needed? Was there foul trouble? Was somebody tired? And last game, it was every time I looked at Cam and TP, they looked like really fresh and really locked in, and so it was hard to take either one of them off the floor. And I don't know. I think Art may have gotten foul trouble. That's like at one point in time he had 2 fouls in the first half or whatever, and that might have been the only reason he was coming off the floor. So right now it's just about figuring out what we got to do to win each game, and it'll be different from game to game. But it has nothing to do with Dorian's continued progress towards being a really good player for us.
You've ever been out there to BYU before?
Yeah, we played there in 2012, 2013, one of those years when we had Pierre Jackson, and P-Jack got a block at the end. He blocked Brandon Davies' 3. We were up 2, and he came out of nowhere, blocked his 3 to win the game. And so it's pretty cool.
You guys getting paid overtime yet?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, no. We don't get paid. Gene made that clear. No pay for overtime. And, although the cop at Oklahoma State, he told me, he said, Coach, I get overtime, so if you can get this thing, to overtime, I said, well, we're gonna see what we can do.
Might as well just go for the record now. No team's ever won 7 in a season.
Oh man, whatever it takes. If it's 40, 45, 50, whatever, we just want a dub. That's all. Just go 1-0.
What's your Super Bowl prediction?
The Chiefs, of course. Come on. Come on, bro. I live in Kansas. Plus, I do like Pat Mahomes. I mean, like, he's, there's the whole, like, never underestimate. Rudy Tomjanovich said that about the Rockets that second year when people didn't think they could do it and they were down. I think it was to Orlando and came back and won. And he said, never underestimate the heart of a champion. And I think that's what you saw against the Ravens a couple weeks ago, right? Like, as good of a season as the Ravens had, man, that was championship pedigree on the other side. And those guys, so they responded. And, I expect them to do the same thing